8 compliments women secretly love to hear. Make her desire you. Modern Stoic. Attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity. Simone Weil. Most women get the same rotation of lines. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're amazing. Polite, sure. Memorable, not really. They're safe, predictable, and gone from her mind before dessert. If you want to be the man she remembers, not just another pleasant conversation, you have to aim deeper. Speak to the part of her that doesn't just want to be noticed, but to be understood. The right compliment doesn't just flatter, it lands, it lingers. It pulls her thoughts back to you hours later. We're not talking about what she hears in passing at work or sees beneath an Instagram post. These are rare, high-signal compliments, precise, felt, and a little audacious, delivered with calm, grounded presence. They don't make her crave attention. They make her crave you, your steadiness, your mind, your voice. There's a catch: compliments cut both ways. Too common and you sound generic. Too eager and you sound needy. Too slick and you sound false. But when your words carry weight and accuracy, you stop sounding like everyone else. You become the man who notices what others miss, and that is unforgettable. That's modern stoicism at work. A stoic man doesn't flatter to win favor. He speaks less, means more, and lets his actions do the advertising. When he chooses a compliment, it's deliberate. It signals clarity, not craving. In this video, I'll give you 8 rare compliments that awaken her mind, honor her feminine pride, and quietly spark desire without performance, pressure, or pretense. If you're done with surface-level games and ready to build real magnetic connection, tap like, subscribe, and drop a thought below. Let's get to work. Compliment 1. Her unique perspective. Most men think a compliment is just pointing out the obvious. You look gorgeous. That dress is stunning. You've got amazing eyes. Nice, sure. Memorable, not at all. Any man with decent eyesight can do that. But if you want to stand out, if you want to make her lean in and actually feel something, you've got to look deeper. That is where the modern Stoic steps in. The old Stoic knew the power of restraint, but the blessing of Stoicism today is knowing when to drop the guard and speak a truth no one else bothers to notice. And the truth is this: what women rarely hear is not admiration for their beauty, but recognition of their perspective. Complimenting how she thinks, how she connects ideas, how she processes the world. Now that is a move that flips the script. Don't say the generic "you're smart," because that lands like a store-brand fortune cookie. Empty, forgettable. Be sharper, be precise. When she says something layered, unexpected, or brilliantly offbeat, don't just nod like you're checking a box. Hold the silence. Lock eyes. Let her words breathe in the space between you. Then deliver something like, "That's such a unique way to see it. Honestly, I've never met anyone who connects ideas like you do." That is not flattery. It's recognition. And recognition is what every confident, beautiful, strong woman secretly wonders if she'll ever truly get. She's asking silently, "Does anyone see the way my mind works?" Be the man who answers that question, and you'll be unforgettable. See, this kind of compliment hits her in a place most men never aim for, her inner world. You're not admiring her lipstick or the curve of her dress. You're honoring her originality, her lens on reality, her mind. And that is sacred. In a society that endlessly objectifies, you become the rare man who dignifies. That's what makes her want more. Not more compliments, but more of you. Because you've shown you're not distracted by the surface. You're captivated by the depth. And when a woman feels understood, she stops performing. She lets the armor fall. She shares her hidden brilliance, challenges you, opens up to you, even risks vulnerability. Why? Because she finally feels safe to reveal who she really is. Don't underestimate that shift. It's the difference between being another guy she forgets and being the man she thinks about long after the conversation ends. This isn't about being slick or manipulative. It's about emotional awareness with masculine control. You're not trying to win points. You're offering proof that you actually see her. And when she realizes you respect her mind, she'll want to show you more of it. That is how attraction deepens. That is how intimacy builds. And that is why this compliment, her unique perspective, isn't just one of the 8 secret ones women love. It's the foundation that makes every other compliment matter. Be the man who understands this. Be the man who embraces the blessing of Stoicism, who knows when to hold back and when to speak with impact. Don't be the shallow flatterer. Be the modern Stoic who proves that seeing beyond beauty is the most seductive compliment of all. Compliment 2, her inner strength. Let's get real. When was the last time a woman was genuinely complimented for her strength? Not her hair, not her laugh, not the way she fills out that little black dress. I mean her strength, her ability to stand tall while the world tries to knock her flat. It's rare. Why? Because most men are trained like puppies to notice the surface. They say, "You're adorable when you're mad," or "You're such a sweetheart." Nice, sure, but it's surface-level chatter. How often does a man stop, really stop, to acknowledge what it takes for her to hold her ground when life throws punches? When the bills pile up, when family drama heats up, when chaos swirls around her, yet she shows up steady, calm, unshaken. That's not luck. That's not a cute quirk. That's power. That's character forged in fire. And here's the twist. Most men miss it completely, but the Stoic man, he doesn't. Because Stoicism trains the eye to recognize strength not in noise, but in silence, not in bragging, but in composure. That's the blessing of Stoicism. It sharpens your vision to notice what others overlook. The world tells women they must be soft, delicate, fragile to be loved. But you, when you see her strength and honor it, you flip that script. You show her that resilience is just as magnetic as beauty. And that makes you unforgettable. This compliment isn't about chasing attraction. It's about giving recognition. And recognition hits harder than charm ever will. Why? Because you're not praising how she looks. You're honoring how she endures. You're not fawning over her grace. You're saluting her grit that lands deeper than any shallow praise. And let's be brutally honest, even the strongest woman longs for this. She may never admit it out loud, but every woman wants to be seen as more than a pretty face. She wants her backbone, her courage, her sheer willpower noticed. When you hand her that mirror, not reflecting her curves but her courage, you awaken a fierce, quiet pride inside her. Not vanity, not ego, but a pride that whispers, "Finally, someone sees the weight I carry." And here's the beautiful part: when you compliment her strength, she'll lean into it more. That's human nature. Real recognition fuels identity. It sharpens self-respect. It deepens the bond between two souls who value the same thing: calm, clarity, and respect. That's a Stoic lesson worth remembering. So how do you deliver this compliment? You wait. You don't throw it around like confetti. You don't say it to score points. You say it when it's earned. When she tells you she stood up for herself at work. When she admits she cared for her family while battling her own storm. When she fought anxiety and still showed up steady and present. That's your moment. Don't cheapen it. Don't say, "That's impressive. That's lazy." Instead, look her straight in the eye and say, "Most people would have cracked in that situation. But the way you held your composure, that takes serious strength. That's rare." Then stop. Don't crowd the silence. Let it land. Let her feel what it means to be truly seen, not for how she performs, but for how she prevails. And watch closely. You'll notice a shift, not just in her smile, but in how she looks at you. Because you didn't chase softness like the others. You respected her backbone, and respect is magnetic. Respect is the bridge to connection. And connection built on respect, that's unshakable. This compliment won't just make her like you, it'll make her remember you. Because you weren't a man tossing out empty lines. You were the man who gave her what most men can't: recognition of who she is when no one's watching. That's Stoic awareness in action. That's living the blessing of Stoicism. Not rushing to flatter, not scrambling to impress. You wait, you watch, you honor the truth when it reveals itself. And here's the kicker. Not every man can see strength in silence. Not every man can respect calm under fire. But the man who does, he's in a category all his own. If you found this valuable, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more modern Stoic wisdom. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. Positive affirmation for comments: I honor strength beyond beauty. Compliment 3, her impact on others. Deliver it like a man living the Stoic life, grounded, present, decisive. Don't flatter the surface, honor the substance. In a world that chases looks, choose depth. You must see what most men miss: her influence, her presence, the lift she gives the room without asking for credit. That is the compliment that penetrates, because it says, you matter. And not in a noisy way, but in the steady way that marks character and legacy. Modern Stoic principles demand perception before praise. Observe first, speak last. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Be the man who notices the subtle shift when she enters. The brighter faces, the easier laughter, the calmer tone. Don't wait for a spotlight. Catch the quiet moments when she steadies a friend, includes a quieter voice, or reframes a tense conversation." Epictetus reminds us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listen, watch, then say it clearly, cleanly, confidently. You make people better just by being around them. You don't try, it just happens. That's rare. Pause. Let it land. Don't dilute it with a joke. Don't qualify it. The Stoic knows that restraint is power. This is not about style. It's about impact. In modern life, busy dinners, team meetings, family gatherings, even a quick coffee between errands. Her influence shows up in micro moments. The baby stops fussing when she holds him. The team moves forward after she asks one focused question. Your friends relax because she brings warmth without demanding attention. Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Point to what she does, not what she wears. Point to her effect, not just her effort. Women hear beautiful and fun all day. They rarely hear you elevate the people around you. You must deliver that line like a verdict. Short, certain, sovereign. Don't overpraise, don't gush. Keep it lean so it feels true. Maya Angelou taught, "People will never forget how you made them feel." This compliment proves you've been paying attention to how she makes people feel. That is intimacy. That is leadership. That is desire with dignity. If you want her to desire you, become the rare witness to her unseen power. Don't be the man who only praises her photos, be the man who honors her presence. The Stoic life is about virtue in action. Your job is to reflect it back. Practical guidance before you speak. Gather evidence. 2 or 3 recent moments she influenced others. Note them. When the moment arises, reference 1. When you asked Sarah that question yesterday, the whole room got clearer. Then the anchor. You change the temperature of a room, keep your voice steady, let silence do its work. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response there is a space. Claim that space. Deliver your words with intention. Don't text this unless you must. Presence amplifies presence. If you must text, keep it tight. No emojis, no hedging. In the gym, after a class she motivated, say it while walking out, at a dinner. Say it privately, not as a performance. In a meeting, say it after, not during. You must avoid performance. You must honor essence. Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Your compliment should reinforce her autonomy. You don't perform to be powerful. You are powerful by being you. Repeat the core message from every angle so it roots you. Notice her impact. You respect her influence. You value her presence. You admire her steadiness. You see her. That is what endures. Contrast matters while other men chase approval. You practice Stoic principles. Self-command, clarity, courage. Don't gush, guide, don't chase, choose. Don't rehearse, recognize. Let's be precise. You're not praising popularity. You're honoring the ripple effect of character. You're saying, you inspire better behavior around you. It's a mirror, not a megaphone. Hold it up once, cleanly, and step back. In a noisy culture, restraint reads as truth. In a distracted age, your focus is rare. In a world of filters, your clarity is the attraction. Repeat the mantra until it shapes your delivery impact over image. Presence over performance. Truth over theatrics. You must live it to speak it. The Stoic isn't sentimental, he's specific. He names reality with kindness and strength. If she's the kind of woman whose light steadies the room, tell her, briefly, boldly. Don't wait, don't ramble, don't soften it. Leadership is the ultimate aphrodisiac because it signals safety, direction, and standards. Give her that standard in your words and actions, then match it by being a man who lifts others too. That alignment makes you unforgettable. And remember, the goal is mastery, not manipulation. Mastery of attention, mastery of language, mastery of presence. Live by Stoic principles, speak from them, and let your calm certainty frame the compliment. When you say, I see the energy you bring, and it matters, you are not just praising her, you are defining the standard for your relationship. That is how you create desire with honor, attraction with depth, victory with virtue. Don't chase applause. Build respect. Let's make this simple notice. Name and honor her impact. Keep it short. Keep it true. Keep it earned. Be the man who sees. Be the man who leads. Be the man who lives the Stoic life. Compliment 4. Her rare patience. Now listen carefully, because this isn't about flattering her hair or her smile. This is about striking at the quiet core of her character. Most men get distracted by the sparkle, her laughter, her wit, her playful comebacks. That's easy. But what very few men ever notice, and what even fewer dare to compliment, is the art of patience. Don't be like the rest. Be the man who sees deeper. It's the way she doesn't explode when someone slips up. The way she pauses instead of pouncing. The way she holds space until the right moment arrives instead of clawing for instant satisfaction. That is power disguised as gentleness. It's the blessing of Stoicism wrapped in femininity, a strength that doesn't roar but steadies the room. Think like a modern Stoic. Any old Stoic could admire courage or bravery, but it takes a sharpened eye to spot the silent virtues. The ones hidden in plain sight, and patience, my friend, is one of them. When you tell her, what stands out to me is your patience. The way you don't rush, the way you let things unfold, it makes everything feel steadier around you. You are not flattering her, you are reflecting her. Be clear. This is not some pickup line. This is a mirror you're holding up to her soul. Don't underestimate the impact. Complimenting a woman's beauty is like tossing candy. It's sweet, but it melts quickly. Complimenting her rare patience that sinks deep. It's the kind of recognition she didn't know she was hungry for until you gave it to her. And here's the paradox: she may not even realize her patience is remarkable. That is exactly why your words land with such force. You must understand, what's invisible to most becomes unforgettable when it's finally acknowledged. It tells her you are not another man staring at the obvious. You are the one who notices the unseen. And once you prove you can see beyond appearances, you awaken a desire in her that surface-level men can never touch. She will feel safer, steadier, and strangely drawn to you, because you've shown her you're tuned into her deeper rhythm. That's what makes her think this man gets it. That's what makes her wonder, what else does he see? Don't miss that chance. Be the man who praises what others ignore. Be the voice that says, "I see you," in a way no mirror ever could. That is how patience becomes not just her virtue, but your secret key to her heart. And in that moment, you embody the modern Stoic who understands that strength isn't always about conquering. It's about recognizing the calm, the steady, the enduring. The old Stoic would call it wisdom. I call it desire disguised as respect, and she will call it unforgettable. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Compliment 5, her creative spirit. Most men default to the easy line. "You look beautiful," or "That dress is stunning on you." Sure, it's nice. But guess what? She's heard it 100 times before. Complimenting her beauty is like applauding the sunset. Pretty, but expected. Now here's the truth: few men notice her creativity. And that's where you stand out. Creativity isn't just paintbrushes and pianos. It's in how she layers colors in her outfit so perfectly that strangers do a double take. It's in that midnight pasta recipe she threw together with whatever was left in the fridge. And somehow it tasted better than a 5-star meal. It's in the clever way she solves a problem everyone else missed. Creativity is life-giving. It turns the ordinary into something unforgettable. And when you notice it, you hit her soul, not just her surface. Why it works. Don't just praise the outcome. Be bold enough to recognize the spark behind the outcome. What you're really admiring is the force of creation flowing through her. It's her imagination, her originality, her ability to make life richer just by being herself. When you say something like, "I honestly admire your creativity," it makes everything around you feel more alive and interesting. That's not about her body, that's not about her hair, that's about her mind. And believe me, women crave that kind of recognition. The greatest joy of a creative soul isn't attention, it's being seen. The Stoic angle. Here's where modern Stoicism sneaks in. The Stoics remind us focus on what is within control, your words, your actions, your recognition of what truly matters. A woman's creativity is not superficial. It's not bound by age, status, or fleeting beauty. It's a reflection of her inner fire, and when you honor that, you honor something eternal. The blessing of Stoicism is that it strips away the noise. It teaches you to see the essence, not just the decoration. Complimenting creativity is a Stoic lesson in action. You're elevating substance over surface, depth over gloss. That is the kind of attention that separates a man from the crowd. Think about it. Compliments about beauty last a moment. Compliments about creativity can last a lifetime. Beauty fades in memory, but the recognition of her imagination lingers like a fire in her chest. It makes her want to create more, to share more, to be more around you. And here's the kicker. When you recognize her creative spirit, you invite desire, not the shallow kind, the real kind, the kind that builds a connection, sparks admiration, and fuels intimacy. So here's your task. Don't be the guy who notices only what's on the surface. Be the one who sees deeper. Be the man who says, "Your mind amazes me." Be the man who finds beauty in her originality. That is what makes her lean in. That is what makes her think, "This man gets me." Don't flatter. Recognize. Don't repeat what everyone else says. Speak to the spark. Compliment her creativity and watch how she lights up in ways you never imagined. Compliment 6, her power to inspire. If you want to live by Stoic principles, you must recognize that true influence is not in noise, not in shallow beauty, but in quiet strength that moves people forward. Don't underestimate the force of a woman who chases her dreams with fire in her eyes. It is not just her ambition you admire. It is the way her presence lights a path for others. That is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." She does not preach. She does not beg for attention. She simply lives with purpose, and in doing so, she lifts others. A modern Stoic sees this not as coincidence but as mastery of life itself. Her inspiration is subtle, yet it shakes the ground beneath you. And when you compliment her ability to inspire, you're not giving shallow flattery. You're giving recognition to a rare, life-altering force. Tell her directly, every time you share your dreams, I feel challenged to aim higher, to aim. You have a way of inspiring without even trying. That is powerful. That is decisive. And that is the type of praise that builds connection, not desperation. Remember, in the Stoic life, what matters most is not control over others, but mastery over yourself. And when you acknowledge her inspiration, you're aligning yourself with strength, not weakness. Don't confuse inspiration with entertainment. Don't confuse charm with power. What you're recognizing is her capacity to shape the environment by simply existing with clarity and determination. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Our chief want is someone who will inspire us to be what we know we could be." Let that be your guiding principle. A woman wants to be seen not only for her beauty, but for her ability to ignite courage in others. And when you see that in her, you separate yourself from men who only scratch the surface. You must embrace this awareness as part of your daily discipline, because the modern Stoic doesn't just watch life unfold, he masters it. So don't just compliment her smile, her hair, her dress. Those fade. Those are easy. Those are common. Instead, honor the fire that makes her a catalyst, the spark that makes her unforgettable. This is what creates desire, not manipulation, not tricks, but recognition of truth. When you tell a woman she inspires you, you're not only giving her pride, you're giving her purpose. And a woman who feels purposeful will always remember the man who reminded her of it. Let's be clear, this is not about worship. It's about respect. It's not about weakness, it's about strength. It's not about empty words. It's about words that pierce the soul. That is the Stoic way. That is the Stoic life. That is living by Stoic principles in the modern world. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Don't diminish the truth. Speak with power. Speak with certainty. Speak with vision. Because when you do, you not only win her admiration, you master yourself, and that is the greatest victory of all. If you recognize the rare light in someone who inspires you just by being themselves, you're already seeing beyond the surface. That's strength. That's vision. Comment this to seal it in. I choose to rise higher with those who inspire me. Compliment 7. Her subtle perception. Don't ignore it. Don't trivialize it. And above all, don't call it weakness. Many men drift through life blind to nuance, missing the way someone's smile doesn't quite reach their eyes, or how the tone of a voice cracks just slightly under pressure. But women, they carry something different. It's not just intuition, it's a quiet radar, a constant awareness, a sharp perception that scans the room and catches what others don't even think to look for. That is not fragility, and that is mastery. And yet, how often is she praised for this? Almost never. Instead, she's branded with that tired old insult, too sensitive. But you must understand, her sensitivity is not a liability, it's a rare and precious gift. And if you want to stand apart from the crowd of men who never get it, you must name it. You must celebrate it. You must be the man who looks her in the eye and says, with absolute clarity, "What surprises me about you is how you notice the things others completely miss. The way you observe doesn't just make people feel seen. It makes them feel genuinely cared for." That kind of compliment is different. It isn't shallow, it isn't generic. It tells her you see her strength, not just her surface. Why does it matter so much? Because you're doing what very few men ever do. You're giving her awareness, dignity. You're validating her secret talent, the thing she probably second guesses when the world labels it as too much. Don't you see the moment you flip that script? You turn sensitivity into strength, perception into power, and suddenly she feels free, safe, desired. Because for once, someone values what she values in herself. And here's where the modern Stoic comes in. The old Stoic taught us to face life without flinching, to embrace reality as it is. But the blessing of Stoicism in this century isn't about sitting on a rock in silence. It's about being present, awake, and bold enough to name what others overlook. The modern Stoic is not blind. He is razor sharp. He doesn't dismiss a woman's perception as overthinking. He admires it as depth. He doesn't silence it. He blesses it. And that blessing is magnetic. Because when you tell her that her subtle perception is brilliance, not burden, you give her permission to lean into it, to trust you. Understand this: women crave recognition more than routine praise. They hear you're beautiful every day from strangers. What they rarely hear is your awareness is extraordinary. And that is exactly why this compliment works. Don't settle for cliches. Be deliberate, be precise. Don't say, "You're sensitive." Say, "You notice what others are blind to." And that makes people feel safe around you. That is powerful. That is unforgettable. And what happens when you say it? Everything shifts. Her shoulders drop, her eyes soften, her energy changes. Why? Because you've touched something deep, something sacred, her sense of self. She no longer feels like she has to tone it down. She feels like her quiet radar is not just tolerated, but treasured. That is how desire sparks, not from empty charm, but from profound recognition. So let me be blunt: if you want to set yourself apart, you must stop drowning her in tired compliments that mean nothing. Don't just admire her looks, admire her perception. Don't just acknowledge her presence, acknowledge her insight. That is what marks you as a man of depth, a man of clarity, a man of the blessing of Stoicism. The old Stoic sat in silence and endured. The modern Stoic speaks the truth with courage. And the truth is this: her subtle perception is not weakness, not fragility, not too much. It is her hidden power, and when you see it, when you name it, when you honor it, you don't just make her feel good, you make her feel chosen. And nothing, absolutely nothing, draws a woman closer than that. Compliment 8, her heart that lifts others. Some women are not just living for themselves. They live as if their heart is carrying a torch, one that lights up the path for others who have lost their way. Think about it. You've seen her in action. Maybe she's the one who calls a friend at the exact moment they're falling apart. Or she leans in with a word that makes someone remember their worth when they were about to give up. Sometimes it's not even what she says, it's her presence. The way she walks into a room and suddenly the air feels lighter, less heavy, less cruel. That's not ordinary, that's rare. Most men stop at the surface. They'll throw out lines like, "You're kind" or "You're sweet." Safe, shallow, predictable. But if you're wise, if you've learned the blessing of Stoicism, you don't stay on the surface. You go deeper. You let her know her heart is more than polite kindness. It has power. The power to heal, to restore, to give others the strength they didn't know they had. You might say, what I admire most is how you make people feel like they're enough, even when they're breaking inside. That's rare. See the difference? You're not complimenting her beauty or charm, though those things matter. You're pointing out something most people never stop to see. You're recognizing a hidden strength, a quiet resilience, a gift she probably doesn't even give herself credit for. And here's the secret when you show her that you see it. You're not just flattering her. You're touching the deepest part of her soul. Why it works? Because every woman wants to be seen, truly seen, and being seen for her strength, the kind that isn't glamorous or obvious, is powerful. Beauty fades, charm changes, but the strength of a nurturing, resilient heart, that lasts. Don't underestimate this. Complimenting her heart is not soft or sentimental. It's strategic. It shows you're not just another guy reciting cliches. You're a man who sees beneath the surface. That is what makes her desire you. The Stoic angle. What does this have to do with Stoicism? Everything. Stoic lessons teach us to value what is within a person, their character, their ability to endure, their capacity to lift others when the world weighs them down. Stoicism says, admire not the external, but the internal. That is what lasts. When you tell her you see her gift for lifting others, you're honoring her in a way that echoes this ancient wisdom. You're not just giving her a line. You're giving her recognition of her essence. And that, my friend, is unforgettable. Don't be the man who tosses out cheap compliments. Be the man who notices the unseen. Be the one who recognizes her heart when it shows up for others. Because when you see her soul, you give her something she rarely gets. Validation that her strength is not invisible. And that's the compliment that will linger. Long after the words are spoken, she'll remember how you made her feel. She'll remember that you saw her. And that is where desire is born. All right, that's it for today's video on the 8 compliments women secretly love to hear. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit that like button. Share it with a friend and subscribe so you don't miss future content. And hey, what do you think? Do you agree with these compliments? Or maybe you've got one of your own that works like magic. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, confidence isn't about trying too hard, it's about being genuine. See you in the next video.